Hey, what's up, everyone? Imagine this. You're looking for a sense of belonging, maybe some new friends, and before you know it, you're caught up in something way darker than you ever expected. That happened to me. I joined what I thought was a harmless local community group, but it turned out to be a full-blown cult. And trust me, getting out was no easy feat. Stick around, because you're not going to believe how it all went down. It all began about a year ago. I had just moved to a new town, didn't know anyone, and honestly, I was feeling kinda lonely. One day, I saw this flyer at a coffee shop. It said something like, "Join our circle, connect, share, grow." It sounded harmless enough, right? Just a group of people hanging out, maybe doing some self-improvement stuff. So I showed up to one of their meetings. It was at this community center, and there were maybe 20 people there. They were all super friendly, really welcoming. The leader, who everyone called Eli, had this calming voice and this way of making you feel like you belonged. He talked about finding your purpose, building a stronger community, the usual motivational stuff. Figured, why not? It seemed like a good way to meet people. First, everything seemed normal. We'd meet once a week, talk about life goals, meditate, stuff like that. But after a few weeks, things started to feel off. For one, Eli was always pushing this idea of complete commitment to the group. He'd say things like, "You can't grow if you're holding on to the outside world." It sounded a little intense, but I figured it was just his way of motivating us. Then they started asking for more of my time. Weekend retreats, late-night meetings, random tasks to prove my dedication. They also had these weird rituals. Like, during one meeting, they had us stand in a circle, hold hands, and chant this phrase over and over, "We are one. We are whole." Felt strange. But everyone else seemed so into it, so I played along. The final straw? They started asking for money. Not just small donations for snacks or whatever. They wanted a significant percentage of my income to support the cause. When I hesitated, Eli pulled me aside and said, "Money is just a tool. If you're truly committed, you'll let go of material attachments." That's when I knew something wasn't right. By this point, I was in too deep. I'd shared personal stuff in group sessions, made connections with people, and felt this weird mix of loyalty and fear. But I also knew I had to get out. The problem was Eli and the other leaders didn't make leaving easy. They'd guilt-trip anyone who even hinted at quitting, saying things like, "You're abandoning your family," or, "Without us, you'll lose your way." So I came up with a plan. I started slowly pulling back, skipping meetings, pretending I had work obligations. I didn't want to raise suspicion. Then one day I just stopped showing up altogether. That's when the messages started. At first, it was just group members checking in, saying they missed me. Then Eli himself called. He said, "You're making a mistake. You'll regret this." That chilled me to my core. One night, I noticed a car parked outside my apartment. It sat there for hours. I couldn't prove it was them, but it felt like they were watching me. I've never been more scared in my life. I ended up packing my stuff and crashing at a friend's place for a few weeks until I felt safe again. Looking back, it's wild how easily I got sucked in. They didn't come at me with crazy demands right away. It was all gradual, a little trust here, a little loyalty there, until they had their hooks in me. But what's even scarier? I'm not the only one. Cults like this exist everywhere, preying on people who are just looking for connection or meaning. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And don't be afraid to walk away, no matter how hard they try to pull you back in. So that's my story. I escaped, but not without some serious scares along the way. If you've ever been in a situation like this, or if you've got your own wild stories, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've got more stories coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.